Guys, I think I might have done it. I think I might have come up with the perfect NFL overtime rule proposal. So obviously, guys, this is a very popular topic of discussion right now. It's a popular debate topic with, it seems like every time a great NFL playoff game ends with one team possessing the football in overtime and just going down and scoring on the first drive, everyone's going to debate the overtime rules. Is it fair for one team to potentially have the ball the entire period and the other team not having a chance? My opinion on it is I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't dislike it as much as some people do because I think it shows that football is not just an offensive game. It is a total team game. I think it's important for defenses and offenses and special teams, all three teams to step up, and I think that's what football is all about. But with that being said, I've still heard a lot of popular proposals to replace the current overtime rule, and the most popular one I seem to hear, it's not very specific, but what I hear a lot is, look, just give each team a chance. Give them a chance to go down the field and respond if the first team or the team that first possesses the ball scores a touchdown, and I like that. But I really thought about this. I wanted to think about more of the specifics, come up with my own specific rule set just to propose to you guys for fun. Of course, comment your opinions on where you might agree with me or disagree with me, if you even like this rule at all. But we're just going to have fun with this. We're going to go through my proposal right here and right now. So guys, here are the rules. I thought about each and every situation, and I'll explain each one as we go. So it's a little PowerPoint we're doing. So first rule of overtime. So we're going to start like we do with the current overtime format. We're going to have a coin toss, and then you obviously heads or tails, call it, and then if you lose, you're gonna kick off, and then the other team will receive unless you're a moron and you want to win in kickoff. But you get it, same thing. Coin toss, kickoff, just like normal. Okay. So here's the big difference. Both teams will get a chance to possess the football, but I will explain in a second how exactly that will work. So the first thing I heard, let me explain this one thing. So first, the one popular debate topic I heard when people say, let's have both teams possess the football. One case you can make against that, the problem with that is the first team that receives the football, they're playing 3-down football. So if it's 4th down and it's not like 4th and 1, 4th and 2, let's say it's a normal punt situation, they're going to punt on 4th down. Whereas the team that, let's say, that first team scores a touchdown, then the team that gets it second that's trying to respond, they're playing 4-down football, so they get an extra down. So they're not playing the same type of game. And I thought that was a big problem. So here's what we're going to do. My rules incentivize both teams to play 4-down football. So you both get the same amount of opportunities. You play the same way. Now, you can punt if you want, but let me tell you why it's going to be an incentive to play on 4th down. So downs start at 1st and 15, by the way. So if both teams are going to play 4-down football, I think if we just have 1st and 10, you get 4 chances to get 10 yards. I think that might be a little too easy. We want to make things more difficult. So you're going to start at 1st and 15 instead, because I think both teams with this new format, I will explain it in a second, they're going to both be playing 4-down football. And so because of that, I think we need to add an extra 5 yards just to make it a little more challenging. So, okay, here we go. This is why it's incentivized, I think, to go for it on 4th down. Now, both teams can go for 4th down, and here's why I think they will. Because if they go for 4th down and don't get it, instead of the other team taking over where the play was ruled dead and where you fell short, the other team automatically starts at their own 25-yard line. So, for example, let's say the Chiefs and Bills game, right? The Chiefs get the ball first. They go for 4th down on their own 10-yard line or 25-yard line, whatever yard line. They don't get it. Instead of the Bills taking over at the Chiefs' 25, it'll be like a kickoff touchback. The Bills will start on their own 25. So there really isn't a big punishment for not converting on 4th down other than you no longer get possession, which is obviously crucial in overtime. So I think with that rule, it could be the 20-yard line as well. Who knows? Just let me know, comment what you think. But I think either one, if it's like a kickoff, that big, the whole reason people don't go for 4th down is they don't want to have to give up great field position to the other team, so they don't take over with fantastic field position. This will take that away, so both teams will want to go for 4th down if all goes well, I think, after that incentive. And then, obviously, this is the current rule as it is. It's basically a simplified version of the current rule. If the second team ever gets ahead, they win. So right now, if you score a touchdown, obviously the game's over. But let's say you go down and score a field goal, and the other team comes back and ties it with a field goal, then we keep going. But let's say the first team doesn't score at all and the second team ever gets ahead. They get a safety or they get a field goal or a touchdown. They ever get ahead, the game's always over. So that's still the same case. So if the first team goes down and scores a touchdown, the second team comes back, they score a touchdown. And if they want to go for two, hey, that's up to them if they want to do it. Or if the first team gets a field goal, second team comes down, gets a touchdown. This is like the same rule that it is now, so we don't need to explain it much further. And here's the biggest thing I added. So this is one problem that I realized with my rules until the very end, right before I made this video. I thought this would be good to include. Each team only gets 5 minutes per possession. Now let me explain the reason for this, because overtime is 15 minutes, right? So if it was one team gets a chance to score and the other team gets a chance to respond, that first team might just kill a ton of clock. They might have a 10-minute possession, go down and score in 10 minutes, have all the time in the world, but then the other team might only have 5 minutes to respond and do the same thing. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's how we speed up the game, and maybe the overtime period doesn't take up too much time. It's not as long as a normal period. We speed it up a little bit. We make the teams have to speed it up. So you only get 5 minutes per possession. So it'll be a running clock down from 5 minutes each possession for the team to score. And then if time runs out on a team during that possession, let's say you're out of the 5 minutes, the clock is out, you haven't been able to score, then the other team automatically starts at their own 25. Just the same thing that would happen if you didn't go, or if you went for fourth down and didn't get it. So basically, each team gets a 5-minute possession, 4-down football. They get each new down or set of downs is 15 yards away. And then this way, both teams will get a chance to possess the football. Both teams will be playing the same style of football. They'll both play fourth down football. We won't have one team playing third or fourth down. You can still punt if you want. And, you know, and it's not taking, we're not going to have teams kill a ton of clock because you can't. So there's 5-minute possessions. And then last thing, you know, just give 2 timeouts per team. I think that's the current rule. But yeah, it makes the game quick, but not like you have to throw Hail Marys. 5 minutes is a pretty good amount of time to get the ball down the field, but also not waste people's time. I think that's a good combination of, it's a quick possession, but it's also not super quick. It's not 2 minutes. It's not a 2-minute warning. Not everyone's going to be like the Chiefs and Bills and score 25 combined points in the final 2 minutes. So I think, in my opinion, I really thought about this, thought about all these rules, and I really think this will allow for the best, most fair possibility of overtime. I think this is the most fair rule set for overtime, in my opinion. It'll be really fun, and games can get even more high scoring, and we just keep going until we have a winner, and yeah, that should be fun. So guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to comment your opinions, because obviously this is a very subjective, very opinionated debate. I don't hate the current overtime rule, but I think with this one, it would make the game a lot better, or at least somewhat better than it is now, because this last weekend was unbelievable. But for that Bills and Chiefs game, the Chiefs 100%, you know, deserved to win. I'm not saying they didn't, but that would have been so much fun if we got a chance to see Josh Allen try to respond and see what they could do. So guys, make sure to comment your opinions. Let me know how you feel about these rules, whether you like them, dislike them, what you might like or dislike about it, and comment your opinions on what your rule set would be if you'd like to change the overtime rules. I'd love to hear all your opinions, guys, but that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.